G'day friends, and welcome to our week 2 for our Well Done online class. It's Vicky Wright, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator Australia. So as I said, this is our week 2 for our March online class. And we're using the fun Well Done stamp set for March, and this is going to be the card we're going to be creating. So with this class, it's a freebie. I post release the class or one of the cards each Saturday at 10:30. Just bear with me, I'll just take a seat. So this is released each Saturday at 10:30. Tutorials, there's no kit for this class. Tutorials are $15 during March, and after March they will be uploaded to my tutorial store, and they're $20 then. So if you miss out during March, they are available in my store, although they will be $20. Okay. So, and all the tutorials include list of products, measurements, which A4 imperial and metric, plus letter size, and also step-by-step instructions and the video link. Okay, so we're going to do this class today, and we're using the By the Bay DSP from the current mini catalogue. We'll be using this paper all the way through the class, as well as it's the same paper we used last week. Okay, so we're just going to put that aside. Then we're going to grab our kit and all our bits and pieces. Put all these aside. And our base card is Petal pink, so we'll just do that first. And me being me, I always forget my bone folder. So we're just going to burnish that down with our thumbnail. Just looks a little bit too tall, but it's not. Okie dokie. So that's done. So while we're here, we'll do the inside of our card. So all I've done is grabbed a scrap piece of the DSP and stuck it to a piece of basic white cardstock, and we're just going to put it on the inside of our card. It still looks too tall for some reason. Just bear with me, honey. I'm just going to measure. It's right. Sometimes they just look a little bit too wide or too tall. And then I grabbed another piece of scrap paper. Well, not scrap paper, but of the DSP, scrap of the DSP, I should say. And we're just going to stick this to the side of our envelope. Just like that. And we'll just trim the excess off with our scissors. And hope that that doesn't stick to anything. This is where I should be using a silicone mat. Okay, so that's done. And then the inside's done. So we're going to do our DSP. Now, I'm not sure whether you're aware, but I love chopping my DSP different ways. Instead of just having the full piece, which you can still do, so there's nothing to say you can't, but I just love chopping the DSP. And I'm not measuring, I'm just randomly doing it. Just like that. And we still want to keep our pattern correct. Okay, then we're going to grab a piece of basic white and we're going to stick our DSP pieces to the basic white. And what we're going to do is leave a little border around each piece, little white border, and at the same time matching our patterning. Now when I do this, I always sort of like to lay it on my layer so that I know whether it's going to fit or it's too wide. If it's too wide, I will chop from the outsides, not from the inside. If you chop from the inside, you're going to lose your pattern. Okay, so always chop from the outside pieces. So we're just going to layer this onto our basic white, one piece at a time, and hoping, fingers crossed, that I get it right. I don't have the straightest eye, but let's see how we go. It's one piece. I always start from the left side. I don't know why, that's just me, but you can start from either side. I wouldn't start from the middle because you want your pieces to fit onto your cardstock, onto your layer. So we're just going to do that, making sure it's nice and straight along the top and along the bottom, just like that. And hopefully, yeah. And matching your pattern, don't forget to match your patterning. Okay, and this is our last piece. And we're just going to stick that down, making sure it's nice and straight and all nice and even along the top as well as the sides and the bottom. And that's done. Now just bear with me, I'm just going to get some tape. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our white crinkled seam, crinkle seam ribbon, and we're just going to put a piece, well you can put it centre if you want, but I always put mine sort of below centre, and we're just going to do that. Okay, now I always put my ribbon down with tear and tape. You can use mini glue dots. You could use Stampin' Seal if you wanted to, but I don't use glue. I know there's a lot of people that do, but I tend not to. And all we're going to do is stick that down, take that off, put the ends there, one in there, wrap it around. May have even been a little bit too low, so let's bring it up a bit, eh? Put another piece down. I'll just bring it up just that little bit higher. Don't worry about that piece, because that'll stick to our card. So we'll just put that there. That's better. And we'll just put that there like that. And we're just going to chop that off. And we've got this piece for the bow. And then what I tend to do is put another piece over the top. And that way you can be assured that it's not going to move. And it's nicely stuck. Okay. Then we're going to take this piece off, the sticky back, add some glue, now as I said, that piece, don't worry about it, you could have taken it off if you could, but it's just going to help secure this panel to our base card. So our base card is Petal Pink. And I'm just going to put that in the middle. Now you could pop this up a little bit if you wanted to, but I'm just going to keep it like that. And that is our base card. Okay. Now I've already die cut a shape from the painted labels dies. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is this one here. My love for you is bigger than the ocean. Okay. And as I said in our first class, we're going to try and use every image. I'm not sure whether we will, but we'll give it a whirl. And I'm using Night and Navy to do this, so this will probably just be out of eyesight for a moment. And I'll just tap, tap, tap. Now I always stamp off onto scrap paper first, so that I know whether my sentiment is going to be straight. You could always use your stamparatus. Which is perfect for alignment. And we're going to stamp our sentiment up a little bit, sort of, just so the bottom of it is sort of in the middle. And it just, oops, just like that. Okay, so the bottom of it is along the middle. That's that done. And we'll just put that aside. We're going to bring in a piece of scrap basic white and our turtle image, which is this one here, is so cute. And we're going to stamp it in Macaron. Just tap, tap, tap. Once more for good measure. Close that up. We're going to bring in Granny Apple Green. And we're going to use a sponge dauber. Now, if you haven't used these before, all you do is just put it on your finger, tap, tap, tap a little bit onto your darker colour. Always stamp first with your lighter colour and then come in with your darker colour. And we're just going to tap the edge of our stamp, or wherever you want that colour to appear. Just close that up. You don't have to put a lot on. Excuse me. Huff on it and then stamp down. When you're huffing, you just making it a little bit wet again. I can't say the word. And that's it there. Okay, so that gives it sort of a two-tone effect. And then we're just going to fussy cut this little fella because there's no dies for it. So I'll just fussy cut him. Whoops. Just take your time, don't rush. I've gone a little bit too close, but that's all right. When you use your sponge dobber like that, your images will always be a little bit different. You'll never get the same effect twice, but that's okay because it just gives a little bit more of a individual look or a wow. Okay, so we're just going to pop that up in the bin, fix the top of that. And what we're going to do is stick this little fella to the bottom of our image, which is why we needed to stamp further to the top than further to the bottom or in the middle. So all we're going to do is grab a couple of mini dimensionals and we're going to put one there on his little fin, and we're actually going to put two, no, one, yep. And then what we're going to do, I shouldn't have taken the top off that, should I? And what we're going to do is just put a little bit of glue around the top. Now we've just got to be careful that I don't stick this to the, and just like that. Whoops. I'm just trying to maneuver the bottom. And we want our little turtle on a bit of an angle so that it looks like he's swimming. Okie dokie. Then we're going to grab, now I've used the minis on his little fin, and we're going to grab our standard Stampin' dimensionals, and we're going to put these on the back. Just like that. Bring in our card, pop it over like that, so I've got it more to the side than the middle, making sure it's nice and straight before you stick it down. And that's as crooked as I don't know what. And that's it. Then just gently press. And the little fin will stick down too. Maybe we should have put one under the tail. Let's do a little one there, eh? Just for a little bit of support. And just pop that under there so we don't see it. And that is our card there. Then we're going to bring in the remainder of our ribbon, and we're going to thread this through the ribbon we've stuck down before. Tie a knot. Slide it across a little bit. More thumbs today. And that's our ribbon, our little bow. Then all I do is just play with it by pulling the tails until I'm happy with the size of it. And that looks pretty good to me. Now I wanted my ribbon on the side just for a little bit of a different look. And we're going to grab our scissors and we're just going to chop at a slight angle. Okay, and what we're going to do now, I'm just going to fix this up, is bring in our festive pearls, and I just happen to have 3 gold ones left, and then we'll put 3 of these onto our card. Put 1 there. We'll just put them in the same spot as our original. Now I've picked gold because there's gold through the paper, and that's it. And that is our card for today. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Now if you don't have the same stamp set or DSP or colours even, just use what you have in your stash. Okay, and I'll see you next week. Enjoy your day. Thanks for watching. See ya. Hooray.